We all appreciate a plan. When bad things happen and we don't expect it, it seems to sort of amplify the experience of that bad thing. But when we expect it, we can endure even greater bad things because we know that it was planned, it was expected, and that there's something on the other side of it. This is what Jesus is trying to prepare us for the world to persecute us in whatever way, depending on the epoch and the era, but Christianity has always been and will always be the world's most persecuted religion. We may not think that's true because we live in a little bubble here, but it is absolutely the case that everywhere throughout the world, and even here, the church is persecuted. We don't quite appreciate the level and the gravity of the persecution of the church here in the United States because we have too much diluted our Christianity into Americanism, into a political religion, political Christianity. And so we're accommodating to those persecutions, but nevertheless they are there, and they wound the heart of the church in this country and throughout the course of the history and the geography of the world. But Jesus is reminding us, or he's telling us so that we may remember when those persecutions do come and they affect us personally and individually, when we have to make a decision for ourselves, not just to see that the church in a general way is being persecuted, but that I am being persecuted, that I am being tempted, that I need to make a decision for or against the Lord, to remind us that, hey, no, it's okay. It's okay that you're suffering. It's okay that you're being persecuted. This is planned. It's expected. I understood that this was coming, and I have made provision for it, for you to be able to endure it, to get to the other side of it, to be victorious over it. He says, I have been made victorious over the world, and I have made you like me, right? You also will share in my victory. Okay? So the Lord is very encouraging. But we can't be blind to the thing that Jesus is encouraging us about. We can't pretend, right, that evil is actually out there. We can't pretend that some people perpetrate evil. That not everybody is a good person, right? We can't pretend that the governments of the world are always going to the modern world anyways, are going to pursue the common good, right? We can't assume that the church is always going to be, and the free practice of religion is always going to be there, right? Think about how crazy it would be when the day comes that, in fact, the hour is coming when everybody who kills you will think he's offering worship to God, and you think, wait, that's crazy. How could that come? Well, there was a time in my life when I couldn't understand how people could see Christianity as proposing something bad. And yet now we see that all the time. Because the religion of ecology, the religion of egocentric ideology or idolatry, the religion of one-state secular salvation, all of these things are in opposition to the gospel. And now, many people would laud the actions of someone who was attacking a Christian who was saying that you are good the way you are. You don't need to cut off body parts to become who you really are. That's mean, apparently. That's bigoted. That's uncharitable, right? But in fact, it is the most charitable thing. Right? The world is getting more and more and more and more confused about what is good and what is bad, calling what is good evil and calling what is evil good. It is such a wonderful thing that women can kill their children so they don't have to deal with the inconvenience of an unexpected pregnancy. People say that. Woo! What a great thing. Women have finally found their strength. Apparently, a woman's strength is in the ability to kill their children. I hope you find that offensive. Because that's what the world is saying is good. That's what the world is saying is your strength and your freedom, your liberation. Don't be so naive as to think that good is always going to be called good and evil is always going to be identified as such. And we're getting deeper and deeper down the profane rabbit hole in society where through the looking glass that which is up will be down and that which is down will be up. But guys, we have to, it's going to be okay. Right? If you're looking for the world to save you, though, you're always going to be hurt. You're always going to be disappointed. You're always going to be afraid, and you're always going to lose. Right? If you're looking for Fox News to save you, or give you the good news, the evangelion, you're fooling yourself. If you're looking for Donald Trump or what's the Florida guy's name? Florida man. DeSantis. Thank you, DeSantis. Yeah, or Biden or Kamala Harris to save you, you're going to be disappointed. But that's the way we live our lives so often, looking for answers in the world, expecting to find the world to be a hospitable, ordered place. And we have done a great job in this country of establishing a system that, by and large, for the vast majority of its short history, has been well ordered to the good. We should be proud of that. We should claim that. We should be grateful for that. Right? But it's not our salvation. And things of the world, especially when they lose their point of reference in God, the North Star that assures that we're going in the right direction, will inevitably, when one storm or another or all the storms come, lose its bearing and go in the wrong direction and think that it's going in the right direction. Right? But we don't have to be afraid. Our job is to work towards the good, right? No matter how crooked the world gets, we still push forward, and it gets harder and harder the more crooked the world is. But it is our job to push toward that good. I'm not saying that we're dispassionate. I'm not saying that we are unfeeling towards the sufferings of people in the world. Not at all. To the contrary. Right? But at the same time, we don't have to lose our peace. It's normal. It's expected that the world has gone bananas. Right? We don't have to lose our peace over that. We don't have to worry, is this world going to be harder or worse off for my grandchildren, than it was for me? Who cares? It's going to be fine. There's persecutions in the world all the time. Yeah, your grandkids are going to be persecuted. Yeah, your grandkids are going to find it hard to do that. And what you used to think is the greatest, most important thing in the world, going to college, getting a good education, working hard, having a family, dedicating yourself to that family, most of those things are now dangerous for your kids or your grandkids to do. Going to college, they're going to lose their soul. It's not the best thing in the world, which means getting a good career and getting a good, stable money so that you could be a good, active citizen in society is not the greatest good anymore. Because in order to do that, you have to lose your soul. Of course, I'm being hyperbolic, of course, right? But I had a dad tell me the other day that his daughter came home from school, from university, and she no longer believes in God, and she's espoused a tremendous number of modern liberal ideologies, which people tend to grow out of as you become big boys and girls and put on your adult pants. But nevertheless, he's like, is this what I'm spending $60,000 for? To lose my daughter? And let me ask you, is it worth that? Is whatever comes because you went to college worth that? And yet, don't we still say that's the most important thing? Don't we still behave like that's the most important thing? Let him go be a plumber. Let him go be a fireman and a hose dragger and just drag hoses around all day and rescue kittens. Let him go be a postal worker. Let him go be a garbage man. But save your soul. Give up the things of this world to preserve your soul intact. Be willing to stand up to HR and lose your job because they want you to say that a girl is a boy and a boy is a girl. Be willing to do that. Do that. Be willing to lose relationships in your own family because you refuse to accommodate error and evil in that family. Let the Lord prune your family rather than harboring diseased members. Let the world persecute you and don't get self-pitying over it, because the Lord has planned this. And it is our own personal refining that He has in mind for us in these persecutions. Embrace it. Difficult as it may be, unique to each one of us as it may be. Allow the Lord, the vine dresser, to prune what needs to be pruned. It will be received as a persecution. But it is in fact the discipline of a Father who loves us, and by which we will find the salvation of our souls. That's the end result of the plan. Jesus says, here's the plan. The world will persecute you. If you go along with the world, you'll lose your soul. If you do not, if you fight against the world, if you do not accommodate the world, no matter what face the world takes, whether it's your beach house or your favorite child, no matter what face the world puts on, resist it, the evil that is in it. Work to better it, and you will not have to fear, because I have conquered the world. And I am in you, and you are in me. And I who have died will die no more, and you will live with me. That's the good news. We don't have to be afraid for ourselves or for anyone who calls themselves Christian, if we stand with the Lord when the world stands against him.